Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is I, Master Juniper Blue Mystique. I am doing a full moon guided healing tonight. This is for the moon. It's for the moon, the earth, and all of mankind, really. We have a full moon coming up in just a couple of days on the 1st of April. And so I'm feeling the nudge to do this ahead of time. That way, we're already going into the energy as it is. So welcome. I'm going to begin by calling in all of our energy into this space, calling in the creator of all that is and all the angels too to be with us, to join us, to connect us, and to protect us. I call in the highest light in and the highest light out only. I call in the energy of the north, the east, the south, and the west with the elements of earth, wind, fire, and water, all anchored and aligned from the west back to the north to complete a connected, highest divine love, connection, intention, foundation, protection, and support. I am an Ascension Master, a Master Healer, and a Divine Guide, and welcome to Rays of Sunshine. That is you. I don't know what's coming. I just know it has to do with the moon and the sun. So some of you are going to be aware of the work I've done, and some of you won't be. Since 2019, I had a Kundalini awakening, and I have been doing things to the earth continually as part of the return, from activating pyramids to clearing Mount Shasta, which was not of light at all, to much, 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 much more. A lot of entailed stuff that takes time to process. But it's all been recorded because that's the way my journey unfolded and the way I was guided to do it. So during that time, though, however, I did stuff to the moon and to the sun, and the moon had a lot of darkness on it. And part of that was my twin flame battle also. And right now, currently, at this space and time, they're getting ready to deploy people to the moon all of a sudden, which I find interesting because I did a video about what the moon landing really was, and they have gone to the moon several times, actually. That would not be the first, and this would not be the second. The moon landing that was televised, they had a purpose for it. And so I found that quite interesting. It was not what you think, but it's also not what you think. It's not what they told you, but it's not what they told you. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to ever dispute that they've been to the moon. They have absolutely been to the moon. And when I did the first moon healing, I cut off their connection. And I said, the next time they listen in, their ears are going to bleed. So I found it interesting to more recently, they're trying to send people to the moon. And I found that interesting because I completed the journey. We undid the false concept of time. We undid all of the matrix, from clearing the money matrix to the medical matrix, and more and more and more. And it took a long time to do it all. Since 2019, I've been doing it piece by piece by piece. And it was just channeling through me, through spirit, through angels, and it was a twin flame journey as well. A very painful one, but beautiful. And then I undid the false concept of the eclipses, and we realigned them. I told you about what Stonehenge really was. All kinds of stuff came through. So it's all relevant. It's all very relevant. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because there are no coincidences to them now trying to send somebody back to the moon, because all of it's been undone. And I said, the next time they listen in, their ears are going to bleed. That was one of the many things I said. All the way down to when I dried the Nile. Sekhmet and Horus soul level returned. Okay, that was only one part of the journey. And then Horus also returned, and Thoth's soul was shifted back to where it belonged. Thoth was a thief, basically. Horus got the moon back, right? So Sekhmet returned, Horus returned, Jesus and Mary Magdalene returned, and Adam and Eve when we birthed New Earth. So this stuff is quite complex. The layers to what is and whatnots and why they do what they do, it's not random, okay? None of it is random. So if you're still listening to me, if you're still with me, if you were still called to push past any resistance that may have rose or judgment, because I tell you it's all been recorded, and you're ready to receive this healing tonight, let's do this. I don't know what's coming, but I'm ready for it. Okay, so I channel, I become a pure channel. I close my eyes often. Every detail of them is very important. So I encourage you to listen, to pay close attention to it all. Oftentimes, I also encourage them to be done more than once. The first time to partake, allow yourself to just be guided by my voice and enjoy the journey of healing that is for you, because you will receive if you partake. So will the earth, the moon, whatever they have us do. I never know what's coming. And then the second time is always good to just listen because we don't always hear everything. And there's a lot of details that generally can come out in them. So that would be my recommendation. Do them more than once. It's up to you. Okay. So welcome. If you haven't worked with me before, I can burp. I burp when I connect. I burp when I receive, release, what have you. So if I do, don't allow that to jar you. Please forgive me in advance. I am very tough. I'm a Colorado girl, born and raised. I'm it. I do everything but hunt. I fished, so it's kind of a form of hunting. But I don't really like to kill animals. Other than that, I've hiked. I go camping. We do all that rugged stuff. You know what I mean? Rid four-wheelers, even wrecked them. Like, I'm a tough girl, but I'm also a girl who likes dresses and would dress up a lot. Very girly. So I never thought I'd burp in people's faces for a living. Long story short. But here we are. Here we are. So I just got off a very long shift, 10.5-hour shift at the crisis center. I'm also a crisis specialist. Before I had my awakening, I had a psych degree. Behavioral health technician. That is what I do. Okay. So welcome. Let's do this. So let's just begin by relaxing, allowing ourselves to just simply be present, okay? I've called in the Creator, called in the angels to be with us at this time. And I call in all of your energy to anchor into a very safe space. So what I'm seeing, though, to begin, is placing all of our energy in separate bubbles. So it's like a collective healing, but they're also separating our energy. And just for the reason of not commingling things that maybe we want to release, right? We need balancing of the moon and the sun. And that's what I was seeing the other night, last night. Whenever I was seeing it, I just didn't get here till now. But we need balancing. So I see the figure 8 going with the moon on one side and the sun on the other. And it's also like healing, relationship healing, balancing, protections for the moon, and more. If I do light language, it is language of the sun, of the gods, God's language, language of the sun, part of the gods of time type stuff, okay? Oh yeah, we even undid the Sistine Chapel. That was pretty amazing. Part 1 and part 2. That was not what you think it is either. Everybody thinks the White House is the Antichrist. No, it's only one little sector. One tentacle, right, of the many. I would look to the Sistine Chapel. See, I'm already connecting. So I'm going to relax. Just relaxing. Just allow yourself to begin to relax. Put your feet on the floor and your palms facing up. In connected mode. I'm going to hold a sunstone and some kyanite. So I have a sunstone and kyanite in my hands. Let me check which microphone is going, because if it's okay. All right, hopefully I'm not too loud. It looks pretty loud. I feel like I'm going to sneeze all of a sudden, so forgive me. I have a sunstone and blue kyanite. Switching hands. So that energy is being called in, and as we have bubbled separately, where we have beings of light stepping forward. Saint Germain is coming forward with the Akasha records. Tatanka is coming forward, who has worked with me many times on the Ascension journey, the return journey. Excuse me. I'm already releasing a lot just by connecting, being present. So Saint Germain is here with the Akasha records. Everything I do is recorded. Plus, we work off the Akasha records because it's part of the return, part of the Ascension. Everything I do is. Everything I've done is. On YouTube, I only have some of the moon healings. The rest were in the path to righteousness that God had me put everything I did into. And there were quite a few of them, like 6 to 8 moon healings. The moon needed a lot of healing because they use it to control things. They separated them. They separated the masculine and feminine, and the moon and the sun are no different. When we're together, when we're aligned, when we're imbalanced, mankind has all their power. They can see clearer. That veil of illusion they created was dependent on the separation of all of those things. So it's very important to understand. I don't like what Zoom is doing. It's being really weird. But let's see here. Oh, well. It is what it is. It's good. It's recording. We're good. Okay. This is also going to... Oh, okay. So I have a couple things coming in all at once. I saw forgiveness, and then I saw the wings rise. There were black wings, which is to me is Archangel Azrael, the angel of death, but he's also the angel of rebirth. And recently he wrapped his wings around Earth. He's holding Earth through this transition, helping to protect Earth. So I heard the words of forgiveness for whatever that means for you. And we're also protecting Earth. And we have lots of angels and God stepping forward. We also have the Galactic Council stepping forward. Being told to relax again. I'm having a hard time relaxing. And I don't know why. I just okay. So just relax. Let's just relax. Let's begin by closing our eyes, listening to my voice. Find a place of relaxation. Hopefully your feet are not crossed and they are on the ground and your hands are open for receptive mode. Slowing down the energy. We have the moon, which is very powerful right now, and that's what we're feeling. And we have the sun presence also. There are no separation from them. We're going to work to remove any more separation that has developed. Archangel Azrael, front and center. Saint Germain, also front and center. Tatanka, he was a real life Sioux, Native American, Indian, whatever you want to call him. There's so many names they like and don't like. I don't know, but he was alive way back when. So he's actually walked this earth, and he is a master healer. He's helped me many times on the Ascension. We also have Serapis Bey stepping forward. We have Gentry here, who is a being of light that has stepped forward before. He's part of the Galactic Council, the Interstellar Space Crew, he calls himself. We have a lot of Pleiadian energy stepping forward, as well as Andromedon and Lyrans. So we're going to begin by I get the vision of sitting in the sand. So I want you to just imagine in your mind's eye, we're sitting in the sand and we're sitting around like what looks like a pyramid center, but it also seems like fire. So it has the energy of fire, but it doesn't necessarily look like a flame. It looks like a glowing crystal pyramid, and it's in the center. So just imagine yourself sitting around this pyramid, and you can sense, see, feel all the beings if you want, or if you can. If not, just trust that they're there, but there's lots of beings surrounding us. And then on the outskirt of the energy, it's layered. We have lions coming in as well. And then we also have lots of pyramids surrounding us. All of the pyramids that I've activated since 2019, from Fiji, Indonesia, Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Budapest, Thailand, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Botswana. Those are the feminine. Then we have Ecuador, Kilimanjaro, British Columbia, and the Congo. So we do have special beings that are going to come around and provide individual healing. Other angels are now stepping in: Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael, Malachi. Saint Germain is very loud. Here he is again. I'm like, I already said your name. Saint Germain is here. Archangel Michael is going to go around and cut all of our cords, any connections that don't belong, that can't come into this healing. I'm hearing Mount Vesuvius, the energy. I don't know why, but I'm hearing that. The Hawaiian volcano, that's what they're saying. So I don't want to change what I'm hearing. I'm going to say it exactly how it is said. There's a volcano in the Hawaii, but something's going on underneath Hawaii. The mainland is what they're saying. So in the skyline, we also have the northern lights. It looks like the cosmic rays is what we call them. It's like beautiful cosmic rays. They're very high frequency rays. Mount Sinai is coming in, which I believe came in when I was doing the Exodus of Egypt. Is that the area of the 10 Commandments? So the beings are starting to cleanse our auric field. Each one of us that are here, that are participating, this is for the full moon. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's individual and collective. So we're doing it to the moon, the earth, and all of mankind will be affected, connected, intertwined. Protections for the moon, and balance for the moon and the sun. Balance, balance. I keep hearing balance. Balance is so important. Balance. Saint Genevieve is also stepping forward. So we all are getting beings of light that will individually work through our energy. And you remember how I talked about the center pyramid fire thing? We're going to absorb a lot of energy through this, but also the moon and other things. So now that I've talked about Vesuvius, Sinai, and Hawaii, I said something under the water of Hawaii, also the big volcano, and then the mainland. But now I'm just tuning into the water across the earth, all water, the water grid, the water element of water. I get an image of a big like tsunami with a very tall building, very tall building. And it's coming up to the top or even above this very tall building. I don't know why I'm seeing that. That could mean many things. I don't try to dictate what it's meaning or try to add on to it. That's not my job. I just tell you exactly what I'm seeing. We let spirit show us what it means as everything unfolds. Or they will tell me otherwise. Archangel Michael is cleansing near our head. So I see it at like our crown and our third eye. He's removing debris. And we have the moon and the sun. And I see lots of water. So we've got the energy of water, but also we're on sand with this pyramid. And then the water is out beyond us. We've got pyramids and everything mentioned so far. I'm being drawn to call in white quartz around our feet and around the pyramid energy around all of us. And also a separate bubble of protection, because remember, we're all like individualized as far as our energy goes, but connected through this pyramid center that looks like a fire. Okay. And we're going to ground to the crystalline grid, but not necessarily the core of the earth. I need to fill the core with the moon. The moon needs to be present. And that's what I'm hearing. The moon needs to be more present. The masculine is not present. It's out of balance. He's not protected. Like the moon is not so protected, and we're out of balance. So they're cleansing our palm chakras. Opening, cleansing, do whatever is individually needed. We invoke the presence of the moon. We release all hesitations. As we begin to bring down the energy of the moon and the sun through our chakras, through the earth grid and into the core. So we're going to fill it into the pyramids. It's going to come through our chakras. It's going to go through that fire pyramid middle that we're surrounded by, and it needs to fill the core. The moon needs to fill the core of the earth. It needs to be more present in the ascension energy, the masculine side of things. It's a massive imbalance. I see some energies being removed through our energy grid, our individual energy grid that don't belong, any shadow pieces, any yuck, any entities type thing. I'll say it like that because that's what it looks like removing entities. Cleansing our aura, cleansing our feet and our palms. St. Genevieve is washing our feet with the water. And just focus on your breath and on your body. We now have a crystal bench coming in from where we're sitting around this pyramid fire thing. It's like a solar grid fire. Looks like a pyramid, but also a fire. The pyramids are solar panels. It's truly what they are when they're active and they're aligned. The crystalline grid was rebuilt. It's filled to the brim of sun, but we need more moon presence, and we also need to protect the moon, and that will help protect the moon. Galactic Council is here, and I'm getting a message from Gentry. Beings of light, we are here to support and help make everything right. A balance is required, an intervention of a sort, for purposes of protection and more. Fear not, dear ones, for they cannot stop the rise, And we are ordered to support you at all costs, to support the earth and allow you a safe space. Balance is required. This is an intervention of a sort. Thank you for being here and partaking in a very big journey of rise. Due to the imbalance, there has been an overexertion of energy that is not of pure intention of light and connection. We are helping to make this right. Fear not and rest more into the energies of light, frequency. For you are not alone. Although it is individual choice, we will protect the earth at all costs. We are interfering to provide balance and return furthermore light to correct the balance, which in turn provides more protections for Earth. Enjoy the ride. Okay, so I'm feeling now more of the moon and the sun energy. I need to bring them down together. So I need the moon to come together with the sun. I need the moon to want to be with the sun. I need the moon to come together with the sun. I need the moon to be with the sun. I have to say that as how it's coming through. So I'm going to bring the moon with the sun into the trees, into all of the trees. We're beginning to just fill the trees. I need to fill the trees, filling the trees to the brim, filling the trees with everything that they can hold of the moon and the sun, the moon and the sun. It's like I'm reaching up and grabbing chunks of the moon and pulling it down. Pulling it down. Even the masculine wearing the moon source light, it is filling at this time. It is glowing through him because it needs to. God does not want to bypass the masculine in any way, shape, or form. That is not what he wants to do. He did that with the first DM, but he's not doing that this time. But he is filling him up with the moon so that it will emanate out of the masculine. That's what we need. And that is what I'm hearing. That's kind of the bypass. It's filling up the masculine with the light of the moon. Okay. And it's emanating through his light source he carries around his neck. And we need that. We need that reflection. We need that vibration. We need that connection. And with that, I can see like these it looks like DNA rising. It looks like, but it's like glowing light from the DM. So it's filling through the DM, his light source. He's like holds the moon on his chest, like in a necklace, it looks like, and it's filling, and it shines from there like waves of light all the way up to the moon, and it puts a bubble of protection around the moon. So this is surprising me. I actually didn't know this was going to happen this way. Of course, I never know, but it's going through the DM. It is not bypassing him. That makes me happy. So it's filling up the masculine, and then it's shining up to the moon, and it's creating a bubble of light around the moon. And it's like illuminating. It is just glowing and shining across the earth, but also into the galaxy. This is needed. This begins the protection of the moon. They cannot undo what was done, and that's what I'm hearing from Spirit. No matter what they try to do, send many, send few. They cannot undo what was done to the moon. No matter what they try to do, if they send many or if they send few, they cannot undo what was done to the moon. Fear not. It will only render them speechless. That's what Spirit says. It will only render them speechless. Their mission to the moon. Their mission to the moon will only render them speechless. What was done has already been done, and it cannot be undone. They cannot change it. So I have Hermes, the god, also coming in as part of the protection of the moon. And so is Malachi with the divine masculine. So it's going through the divine masculine. And this makes me so happy. God is not bypassing the divine masculine. He does not have to bypass the divine masculine. He did the first time I had to walk in divine masculine in this journey. It was very painful. So even I get a little like, whew, oh, I don't know what's coming. And then I'm filling with the sun. So I see them like bringing down the sun like a column of light, but truly filled with the sun. And it's just coming down into my energy. And I see myself holding the staff of the sun, and it's filling that. And it's creating, it's like filling up with the sun, and it's going into the staff. And the trees are filling with the moon. And then it's going into this pyramid in the center that we're sitting around, and all of the pyramids around us. And the water is absorbing the moon. So the water absorbs the moonlight, and it expands in the molecular level. And it goes out into the heliosphere. So it's carried through the water. So there's water in the air, and there's water goes into the heliosphere. It goes into like beyond our atmosphere. It's amplifying the moon energy through the water. Already I'm starting to feel better. And then it fills my staff with the sun. And then from me, it's like this light coming up of the sun and going around the sun itself and putting in protections. The sun itself is expanding, and so is the core of the earth. The core is filled with lots of sun. We need more moon. So it's together with the sun and the moon. I kind of see it like an eclipse, like when they come together. I'm not saying there is one necessarily, but it's always together. I see them together, not separate. And so it's bringing the sun and the moon down now through this center pyramid that we're sitting around, and it's going into the core of the earth, and it's filling up the crystalline grid, and then it rises back out of the pyramids. And the skyline is filling with the sun and the moon. And the beings of light are prepping our energy, whoever joined me, to receive the moon and the sun. The DNA, the coding for mankind. The trees, the DNA, and it goes into mankind. The trees, the DNA, and it goes into mankind. So the trees help to, like photosynthesis, but it helps to provide the DNA into mankind, to bring it together to, I don't even know what the word would be for that. They consider it like photosynthesis, how it transitions into energy. It transitions into a coding of Christ, basically. But Christ is not just a man named Jesus. I need you to understand that. Jesus had a twin flame, and they've since been united when I undid the Holy Grail. Sekhmet and Horus were also united, and then Adam and Eve, and then all of that came together into one, into the sun and the moon. There is no separation anymore. No fragmented timelines anymore. So I'm seeing each of our energy centers like two halves, okay? And I'm participating in that as well. So the left half will be the moon and the right half will be the sun. And then it's guided by the northern star. And they're bringing down the moon and the sun together, going into our upper chakra system. Very gently, very methodically for what each of us can handle individually. Some of us can take on more of that light than others can, but either way, we're taking it on. And it's just bringing it down. And the beings of light, whoever that is with us, with each of us, are guiding it down. And Michael is making sure we are grounded to the crystalline grid. As we are doing this, our energy is like sinking into the earth grid and into the crystalline grid, but not into the core right now. Because she's about to energetically burst out, release, like they're saying going into the magnetosphere. That's what they said. The energy from the core of the earth is going to expand out into the magnetosphere, whatever that means. Compelling shift. I don't know. They're poets. I can feel the moon and the sun coming down through our upper chakras. Coming all the way down, down, down through the upper chakras, heightening in the 22nd. Opening up the 22nd with the masculine and the feminine, with the moon and the sun. And cleansing. 21st and into the 19th. Cleansing and balancing. Now remember, we had a line of light going from the masculine to the moon, my divine masculine, the twin flame, and we have a line of light going from my staff of sun, going through and through the staff of the sun into the sun. Okay, so from the masculine and from the feminine, the moon and the sun, we have like a ball of light or like a beam of light going up, and it's going around each one. So from the masculine, it's going around the moon, it's like a bubble of light. And from myself, it's going around the sun. It's like a bubble of light. And then I get an image of like something on my head with the sun and like the snake. Power source is what they're saying. Divine masculine and the feminine power source. Literally. And then we have individually now we're receiving some of the moon and the sun as well. Going into the 18th, 17th, and 16th chakras, way above us. And our aura is starting to open and amplify. And as we do this, it's coming down through all of us and the masculine. But the moon and the sun are generating like a cord connection to each other. So it's starting to come out of the center of each one and come together. So this is like going to pull them together tightly, create a figure 8 around them, and protect them both. It's like the sun protecting the moon, is what I'm hearing. The sun is protecting the moon, the love of her life, the true love of her life. The moon is the sun's north star. It's a guiding star. Going down now into the 16th chakra. Cleansing, removing debris. The 16th connects to our cognitive health a lot, is what I'm hearing. And so they're cleansing that out. They're disconnecting some matrix level here. So you know how they have like 666, the mark of the beast? It's like mind control type stuff. And so the 16th chakra, where there is shadow, truly can get into our heads, right? We can get a lot of negative thoughts in our heads. And the 16th chakra is connected to that deeply. So it's cleansing that aspect. It's like cleansing our cognitive functioning through the 16th chakra. Removing debris, removing matrix components. Going down into the 15th, 14th, and 13th. The moon equally with the sun And it's like a guiding star, balancing the two energies. I feel a lot of pressure now coming into my head already. So I'm releasing. 12th, 11th, and 10th chakras. 9th, 8th, and then into the crown. So just allow your chakras to open and allow balancing of the moon and the sun to occur. Just give permission. Relax and give permission. And I see the cords coming out of the moon and the sun, and they're coming together. It's like a connected cord, one from the moon, one from the sun, and it's going to come together. And once that happens, it's a figure 8 that's going to go around the moon and the sun, and they're going to pull closer together. So we're pulling the moon and the sun closer together. Divine intervention. I hear Gentry in my head going, divine intervention. And we're all helping that occur. And I see the masculine glowing with the sun. And the angels like Michael and stuff are removing debris from him. Removing cords and any debris and anything this is purging. Leaving the past behind can be difficult when we have like regrets and things that we wish we would have done differently. Archangel Shamuel is stepping forward. So he delivered my own personal message today. So this makes me happy. He's coming with pink and pink and yellow rays to go into the heart space for love, healing and love. So he's beginning to pour that in as we come further down through the crown and into the third eye with the moon and the sun and the northern star. There's some debris in the third eye that we're removing. Some matrix components. This is all layered because there's many energies that I see receiving this. One person's third eye has become fragmented so that it's like almost became dormant. So they're piecing it together. Energetically bringing it together for an awakening of a different kind. Decalcification of the third eye is occurring for some. So I see like a blue light going, woo, woo. I can hear it and I can feel the vibration. Woo. And now we're going to the throat. So I can see it like a line of light. I feel it. Like there's so much tingling in my forehead and it's coming down just like this line and going into the throat. Now remember Tatanka is still here and he's taking what would be like ash from a fire or something, and he's drawing an ankh on our foreheads. An ankh is the true cross. Okay, it was broken when they ripped apart the masculine and feminine. If you watched me undo the Sistine Chapel, it would make more sense. It was not of light. And so it's the ankh. It was the darkest portal. And it's an ankh he's putting on our forehead for protection of God, masculine and feminine protection, and also bringing the sun and the moon together in divine intervention. That's what they're saying. It is necessary. Like the sun needs the moon. And the moon needs the sun just as equally. And it's also protection for the moon. They may try, but it will do them no good. They cannot undo what was done. And now we're going into the throat with the sun and the moon and the sun. And I need to really open the throat here for a moment. So I'm getting an image of like if you plant a seed and then it starts to grow a plant. And that's what I'm seeing in the throat. Anchoring into truth, to love. And so the truth, speaking your truth, the divine masculine, having the strength to speak his truth, because I see that vine growing up through our upper chakras and going all the way to that cord connecting the moon and the sun. So it's like they planted a seed in our throat, okay? And then I see this plant rising up through the center line of our chakras, and it's going all the way up to the cord connecting the moon and the sun. And it's helping to pull those together. This is divine intervention. And I'm beginning to see those cords starting to come closer and closer and together. So they're reaching out and becoming fibrous, right? And they're kind of starting to connect the moon and the sun. And I see the gods, especially like Hermes, helping to bring them together. And Prometheus is also stepping forward. Further opening the throat. I feel something in the throat. Bringing in the sun and cleansing, and bringing in the moon and cleansing in a balanced form. And going down into the heart and into the Merkaba. So some of you, your Merkaba is still separate because I see it coming out and in front of you. And it's going to awaken. It's going to open the Merkaba. Some of you need the DNA of the masculine. So I see that the moon is amplifying through the Merkaba to the top half, and DNA activations are occurring for some of you who are not connected to the new divine masculine. It's like matrix grid stuff, connection. So you have the DNA now. And they're just making sure it's balanced and moving. Malachi is really helping with that. And Saint Germain is bringing a special cleansing into each of our heart space, unique to your records, unique to your Akasha records. And I see him speaking some kind of language over my heart. He's speaking a specific language over my heart, which is doing something. Oh, it hurts. Oh, I'm getting a lot of really sharp pains. And I feel it on the left. It just out of nowhere, just a sharp pain going up the left side of my chest. Bridging that gap of the divine. And now drawing the light from the heart to the solar plexus, the moon and the sun. Balancing with the northern star. And going down into our sacral and root. And coming directly from our root, going down to the earth star chakra, and into the crystalline grid. And now the cords can connect to become one of the sun and the moon, in which a figure 8 is forming around them. This is all happening, and I can see it in my mind's eye, with the moon on one side in one bubble, right? And the sun on the other, and a figure 8 of energy flowing between the two of them. And now that that has happened with the full moon and the sun together, bringing that down in one cord connection into that pyramid fire pit. And it's going to amplify through there. It's going to magnify it into the core of the earth. It's as if you take a magnifying glass and you burn some grass, right? Magnifying glass with the sun, and it becomes really heat and expansive. And that's what this, in the center of us, this pyramid fire pit is doing. So as we bring through the moon and the sun into it, it expands, and then it amplifies it into the core to expand the core even more. So I hold space for that. And that's where I see Serpis Bay coming in to help the earth expand. It's a little painful. So we're just letting that process through our system. It's removing some energy and some debris. But now it's also starting to fill through this pyramid. It's like they give me the visual of as if you're taking the sun with a magnifying glass, you know how people do to like burn things. And that's going to magnify and amplify the energy of the moon and the sun into the core. It's going to double the energy, further expanding the core. And I see the moon, I see the moon expanding the masculine. So the masculine energy is expanding with the moon, the divine masculine. I could see it, and I could see that pendulum of the moon on his neck from when Horus returned, he got that back. And we took the soul back from Thoth. And it's the moon, and it's expanding. He's expanding into the moon energy. The moon energy is expanding into him. It's expanding him. And it needs to be amplified that way into the universal flow. Okay. So into all that is, it's amplified through the masculine. That's important. That's why God is not bypassing him. Thank God for that. God is good. God is so good. It is a divine intervention. And then I see this amplification of protection around the moon, and the figure 8 is flowing between the moon and the sun, and they're starting to draw closer. Now, as they're drawing closer, we're drawing more energy down into the core through that pyramid, like a magnifying glass. It's like amplifying it and sending it down amplified into the core of the earth. And as that starts to happen, the core is going to expand and expand and expand in a very big way. And this is both the sun and the moon together. And they're filling the heart with more moon and sun and into the Merkaba. So balancing of both halves, masculine and feminine. For some of you, it's drawing the Merkaba closer to the heart space. For others of us that have done all the work, it's already within the heart center. So there's no separation, right? So it's eliminating separation. But I see the moon. I literally see the moon coming closer together, which is super important. And that's what I'm hearing. And then it's like balancing. It's like this figure 8, the infinity symbol, flowing around both of them. And then I see Osriel's wings tighten around the earth. And I see the moon taking on some of the sunlight, and they're exchanging. So the sun is taking on some of the moon, and the moon is taking on some of the sun. They are literally exchanging energy frequencies, which is further protecting the moon and amplifying the moon. When two become one. And bringing it down into this pyramid fire pit that's in the center. Remember, we're on a crystal bench. You can tune into your crystal bench if you want to, but that's also amplifying with it. But it's just to help amplify and heal and cleanse your energy, awaken, transmute, all of those things. And then it's like a magnifying glass into the core. It's amplifying it and shoving it into the core of the earth. And we're connected to the crystalline grid. And then I see the animals on the earth responding, you guys. I see them. I see birds flying out of the treetops. Just all of a sudden, mass amounts of birds just flying out of the trees. I see animals moving and running. They're responding. They're responding in very strange ways. To even spiders scurrying about. Like, phew, I'm out of here. And I do hear a crack in the earth. I heard a very loud like a crack in the earth. And I just see the energy expanding from the core out, which is causing the earth to crack, to shake, to quake, to move, to adjust. So I heard Mount Vesuvius again, also something about Mount Rainier, but then Mount Sinai was very loud again. Now I think Mount Sinai came through when I was doing the Exodus of Egypt stuff. It was like the mapping of New Earth. And I think we like blew it up. If I remember correctly, we like exploded it. Mount Sinai, and it had something to do with like the 10 Commandments, and that was a warning at the time. It was a warning. So that's coming through here. And then I see a shift in the stars. So I've told you astrology will even have to up level. All of the divination tools will up level. They need to expand into 7D grid, into New Earth, not 5D, 7D. So I do see a shift. I see a shift in the stars. And that's what they're showing me. This is a shift in the stars. And then I also see all the stars filling with the light of the moon, particularly the moon. And then my DM is amplifying again with the moon, and it's glowing on his chest. So it's like a beacon of being filled with the moon on his chest. And that's what God calls the intervention. Divine intervention. Which is a relief for me. It was the last time we had to divine intervene over the DM. My DM did not make it. And I got to walk in. But I still won that soul fragment back. So that's why God put it in a walk-in. It was a whole thing. All of that played out on this channel. Painful, shocking, and beautiful all at the same time. But I'm so tired. So I'm so thankful for this. And then I see the water. So remember I saw like a big, huge wave over a building. Now I'm seeing it like kind of calming down, but still amped. The water's expanding. It's shifting on Earth. It's expanding in some areas and kind of shrinking in others. And then the water carries that DNA out beyond the heliosphere. It like goes through the water and the air. It like carries particles. So this whole Christ return is intensely everywhere. Like everywhere. It's in the water and the air. Like it's everything. It's everything. It's in everything. It's in the trees and the birds and the breeze and the seas and the mountains. It's in everything. And those that will awaken and rise. I'm starting to feel better. I can feel it, and I can feel more balancing in the heart center. I can feel the sun and the moon coming closer and balancing. It's like balancing this energy. So when you move energy, it has to respond kind of like the water did. It was like, whew, whew. And so that's what the sun and the moon energy is doing. It's like this wave of alignment. It's like trying to adjust into a new alignment. So they're coming closer together. We've essentially brought the moon and the sun closer together, and then amplified the energy and to expand the core of the earth, filled the DM with the moon. So he is emanating and amplifying and illuminating. He's like glowing the moon from his beacon. Okay, so that's important to say. Is if anybody looks in, they see the masculine filled with the moon, and that's a necessity. So now it's more protected. Now it's being read that way, which means their mission will yield silence. That's what I keep hearing. So I was going to say something else, and I heard silence. It will yield them speechless, is what Spirit is saying. It will yield them speechless, whatever that means. This mission to the moon will be yielded speechless. Futile. They cannot undo what's been done. Cannot. And that will only hurt them if they try. And then I see like all these particles of the masculine and feminine, and it's just rising through all of you, helping to balance and receive more moon energy. Some of you got the DNA of the moon, the new DM. It's a whole new thing. Like it was a new walk-in. So literally new DNA, new moon was born, everything. It's a whole thing. Horus returned. The moon is on his chest. The sun, the staff, all filled, all balanced, coming together. We pulled the moon and the sun together more. I feel so much better. Now you're ready to receive this wave. When the moon is more protected. So all of the beings of light are anchoring this in. And it will continue filling into the core over the next few days. 369 frequency. So 3 days, 6 days, 9 days, something will occur from it. It's like amplification, reunification type energy. 369. Intention, connection, flow. I'm just giving gratitude. All of that energy is anchoring in through you, but it's going to continue to process. 369. 3 days, 3 weeks. So it depends on you and how your body is receptive to it all. But you're also amplifying the moon. You're a vessel of amplification for all of mankind. And protection for the earth too. Now I get the image of like dancing under the moon. This is a good moon to create moon water with. Just leave a bowl of water out under the moonlight. That will do a lot of things. You have no idea. Okay, so we are anchoring all of this in. Buungkuala antala kitienti luaya tai konturuata ampato. Oluaya luata intikian toro mbolu anta akintelete unto column to ampaya tai. I feel like I get the image of speaking through the moon and the sun in your heart center. Kuala tai tinkian toluai. So it's all being sealed and anchored in completely through all that is. The moon and the sun cannot be touched, cannot be separated anymore. It's like pulling them closer, protecting them, amplifying them. It was divine intervention. Again, I see something under Hawaii. I feel like it's underneath the main island. Maybe a shift? I don't know. Wait, with the water, aren't they flooding too? But like this is, yeah, it has to do with like a shift. Almost if there's like plates under there, it's just a shift underneath the island. Okay, so we're anchoring it in. It's all complete. We're beginning now to end this session. So we're simply going to leave it the way it is. I don't need you to walk back. I don't need you to do anything like that. What I need you to do is just breathe and begin to feel into your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your stomach, your chest, your arms, your elbows, your hands, and move if you need to. Breathe if you need to. Your chest and your head and your hair and your eyes. All of the things, you. Bringing your focus back to you. What's yours is yours and what's mine is mine. This will be amplified, anchored into, and complete of a journey. All energies separated to where they need to be. No further connection necessary for this healing. Cutting off the energy connection of this healing for when you're complete. And as you come into you, you start to recognize your outer environment if you stayed with me the whole time. And when you are ready, when you feel like you're more within yourself, you can open your eyes. So concludes our full moon divine intervention healing. This was nice. So much love, my friends. Thank you for joining me. I need to go process this, and I'm exhausted. I am off. I've been working for 12 hours straight now. I'm done. Turn me over. I'm done. Anyways, have a beautiful day, a beautiful night, a beautiful time whenever you receive this. Thank you for joining me. And be sure to actually check everything I say out, because it's really real and it takes a while to process. And sometimes you have to watch these things more than once to get it all, because you cannot see past your shadow. Period. So the more you awaken, the more you can see. The more you do it, the more you awaken. It's like a cyclic pattern thing. Okay? So much love, my friends. Until next time, thank you for joining me.